Hello, hey there. Thank you very much for joining me once again on our second edition of program planning, program implementation, program evaluation, whatever you may wish to call it. My name again is Martin W. Piri, Director, CERCS-Zambia. CERCS-Zambia, actually CERCS. CERCS-Zambia stands for Center for Educational Research and Consultant Services, or service. Uh, we are an organization that is currently, operating on the Zambian soils in information broking services, and we also provide consultant services in management to various local, based organizations. Uh, so thank you very much for joining me once again. Um, uh, Today we are going to be talking about participant analysis, in the process of program project design. So, okay, let's begin. Participant analysis. Participant analysis. Obviously, from the title of the topic today, participant analysis, you basically understand already what participant analysis is all about. A participant is a person who's actually taking, part in a particular activity. So in this case, we're talking about people who are going to be involved in the process of designing your program, people who are going to be involved, people who you need to have on board as you begin to plan on that project, as you begin to plan on that program. Who do you really need to have? As an organization, you don't necessarily need to have the entire staff on the planning table. That's not necessary. And that's the reason why you have to conduct what we call a participant analysis. So a participant analysis, can be, groups of individuals, including the target group, the people who are going to be the beneficiaries of the program of the project that you want to implement. We're talking about some of the staff members, you know, who are affected directly and indirectly, by the program results or project results. We're talking about government officials. We're talking about the community members, the members of the community in which you are going to implement your program. So let's look at some of the steps that are involved in the process of conducting this participant analysis process. Okay, so the first process or the first step that you need to do is come up with a team, come up with a planning team, make a list of participants. First and foremost, you're looking at who are the beneficiaries, or who is affected by the program directly or indirectly. Who is it that is affected by the program? We've talked about government officials, we've talked about the staff members, we've talked about the community members, So you are going to conduct this process now. In the first step, come up with a list of individuals who you deem that can be the main individuals that would contribute to the process of planning that project or program. In whatever way, the contribution does not necessarily need to be a positive contribution. These are people that can contribute negatively or positively to the process of the project implementation or design. Then two, after you've come up with a list, you come up with the names of these individuals that you're suggesting, and then from there you're going to prioritize now from the longer list of the participants that you've come up with. Among your planning team, decide on the list of 6 to 10 participants. In earlier on, you might have come up with a list of maybe 20 participants, but then try to reduce it to 6 or 10 people on the planning team who could potentially have the most significant impact on the project planning process, or on the success of the project, who would really bring about the most significant impact on the success of the program. So after doing that, then you come to the third step. So that was the second step. The first step is that you come up with a longer list, put up all the names of the suggested people. And the second step is you come up with a shorter list. You're going to prioritize now. You're going to scrutinize or analyze the longer list, and then you come up with a shorter one. You're going to prioritize who you think can significantly impact the success of the program. And then the third one is you're now going to conduct a more detailed analysis of a prioritized participant list, by filling out whatever, from that list you can come up with a table. And that table, let's say maybe, from the sheet of, I don't have a pen right now, but from the sheet of paper like this one, you can come up with a table, that's the third step we're talking about. You can come up with a table where you're going to have, a participant, the name of the participant, and then you're gonna, you just put up some rows and some columns. You're gonna have the name of the participant, the problem, the interests, the potential, and you come up with the linkages. So on the participant name, that's just the name, and you come up with the problems. Describe the significant problem, that is the main problem that is being faced, by this person that you brought on board, this beneficiary. What kind of a problem is this person experiencing? So that is what you're going to include in the problems. And you come up with on the interest, you're going to that is on the interest, you're talking about the main interests. Why is that person on the table? What is their interest in the project or the program? And try to do so from their point of view, because you're going to ask them, why do they think that they should be part of the program? Why do they think that they should be engaged in the process for planning for this project of the program? What is their main interest? And then you come up with the potential. The potential, on the potential column, you're talking about what is their significant impact. The greatest strength that they have, and their weaknesses. That is the potential. You're talking about the potential. So the potential, looking at their strengths and their weaknesses as you analyze, the whole program process design. And then you come up with the linkages. On the linkages, we're talking about conflicts, we're talking about history of collaboration or dependency that, this participant, has either with your organization or with other organizations. What is the history? What kind of linkages are they having with other organizations? Or dependence on other organizations. So when you come up with that, you're going to fill up that box after you come up with a prioritized shorter list from the longer list. The third one is to come up with the box which you're going to fill up. This table note box. Excuse me for that. Now, at the end of the process, your team will have a more complete idea of who needs to be consulted as part of your project planning process, or who does not need to be included. And like that, you would have come up with a more complete or precise, participant analysis process. It is very, very important to conduct this process before you embark on planning on that project or program. It's been great having you once again. I must say thank you very much for joining me on this series of program planning process. Look out for the next one where we are going to be talking, giving out more insights, on how to plan for that project or that program in your organization. It's been Martin, your host, Martin Piri, CERCS-Zambia. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.